not live. We live fairly soon. Today is going to be a different stream after our usual game review content. Today's more of just, I think, me chatting, talking about development, talking shop. Today might also be a really not a really short stream, a shorter stream. I know we're like 2 hours late already, and I apologize for that. Just been really busy lately, and I'm kind of prepping. Well, not burnt out, but I'm prepping for some more stuff. I've noticed that there are some new game jams that I might be interested in joining. So that's kind of part of what I am planning on doing. I don't know. As of right now, I'm kind of like, there is a game that's going on right now called Back in the Game Jam, which looks interesting. There's a money prize, and money is a strong motivator for me to join a game jam for sure. But as of right now, I'm kind of I'm debating. I have an idea for it. There is a new art style I'm considering figuring out, and I'm also kind of so last stream we discussed a little bit about the future of this stream, how I'm going to handle things. We could do more game jam type stuff. In fact, actually, while we're here, while we're chatting, maybe I'll just like join the community and see exactly how the community is. Maybe like, I don't know. My mind's in a million different places right now, and I don't know. My sleep schedule has been wrecked. Game jams have been on my mind. A lot of reviews, a lot of stuff I'm learning. Always learning all the time. Today I got some new plants. In other news, I have some plants that I have acquired, and they're really cool. We have so this one here is a rescue. It's one of the coffee mug thing is a rescue that we have gotten. It was on discount, so I am currently working on bringing it back to life. We have it in clay balls. It was an aquaponic plant that we are trying to bring some life back to. Put in a little coffee mug because I accidentally broke. So this coffee mug is part of a pair. I broke one of them a while ago, so we haven't really used this one because without it being a pair, it's kind of like odd. Doesn't fit with anything else. Additionally, I also got this plant right. Oops, daisy. This one's kind of tall. So this plant right here, I got some bamboo, and it's in this really fun little lamp thing. This is the aquaponic thing that the other plant was in. So we have these two, and yeah, no, I'm gonna. Right now it's charging. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make it. I might have to dedicate a charging brick to it or something, but I'm probably gonna move it over to the shelf soon. I also gotta clean everything up. I don't even know. I don't know if I should do it on stream because I think I could theoretically as long as I'm careful. There are some like stuff here that is technically more secure, like business cards and documentation and stuff that I probably shouldn't accidentally expose to the stream. But I feel like if I was careful, I'd probably be that big of a deal. But yeah, no, like I'm between I'm between jams right now. I really don't know what I want to do with this stream. It's complicated. I could just play more games. In fact, I could play some games today with play some. I guess we could play Wild Rift today. That could be like today's content. Just a relaxing day of rage baiting in Wild Rift. That could be a fun way to do today. But I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of also not adverse as just discussing what I've been up to in terms of game jam and everything else. Part of me is like, maybe I could like do something like more serious, like do some social media work or do some dev work for like just in general, or maybe like learn something on stream. But also I'm not really set up for that, and I feel like I'm gonna just end up being boring. I think what I need to do, actually, speaking of, is I need to, because right now I have a very, very basic and honestly it's basic and convoluted because I have like a really the basic like scene, like I have the webcam, the stream avatars, chats over here, chat and everything, and it's like I have the basic thing set up, and I as I needed to during the jam season, where like I got to kind of work on the fly. I created a bunch of different. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 scenes. I don't even know what half of them do anymore. I don't even know what they connect to. I'm kind of scared to click on them. I don't know what tab it's going to reveal on my desktop, and I'm just not optimized for like, oh yeah, today we're doing an art stream. I clicked 2 buttons. Now it's perfectly set up for an art stream. It's kind of like at this point that if I wanted to do an art stream right now, I'd have to like spend 10 minutes figuring out how to set everything up and then kind of like work on it, but it wouldn't be great. It's complicated. And also I'd like to like have other things set up as well, other systems. A TTS I think is a must. Honestly, I feel like TTS can kind of revert back to how it was during jam season when we had like 50 people in chat. Like I think our max was like 67 people in chat, which was crazy. But back when we were at that level, at that amount of people, it got to the point where TTS was for everybody was not an option. I feel like at this point we can kind of start bringing it back. Also, yeah, again, out of jam season, everything's a bit more different, and it's so. I think I was hoping that we'd be able to keep momentum afterwards, but with personal life and everything else, me having to take a break, kind of mid review, it doesn't work out in the end. Which life happens. Life has happened a lot in the last couple of years, which is you can't control life. Life is life. There's a song about that. Life is life. Na 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 na. La ba da 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 life. Da 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 da. Life is life. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now mentally is I'm kind of in like it's so complicated. I feel like as I mentioned many times during the jam season, I am pretty severely an energy vampire, but if I have nobody to energy vampire off of, keeping my energy like maxed out like I usually am during jam season is like increasingly difficult. But yeah, no, that's kind of like the long, short, tall, etc. Let me make sure that everything so yeah, everything is working on the Discord and everything else. I feel like partly I should also stream a little bit earlier. I know that I'm already streaming late, so I have no right to say that. But even earlier than 8 o'clock might be a smart idea. But also maybe later, because I feel like during jam season we were streaming like long nights, so some of our viewership might just purely be on like nighttime. Today's also, I feel like school season is going to start soon as well. I don't know how much of our audience is on the younger side. Even college age is probably going to be on the side of not being able to join stream because of previous engagements. It's a weird place to be in. So the jam that I'm considering joining, speaking of the jam I was talking about a second ago, it is called Back in the Game Jam. I think we can discuss this a little bit. I think this is a fun topic of discussion. Let me move some screen. My face. Put the face back. Let me move some stuff around real fast, and let me bring up this screen. Hello, Songer. Welcome back to stream. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. How's life treating you? What's going on? It's now been, I think, like 2 weeks since you've moved to a new house. How's everything going? Let me get this window proper. Let's take a look. Great, honestly. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Good neighborhood, good vibes, good everything. That's honestly great to hear. I love to hear that. Remediation is going well. Finally something scheduled for fixing things, and neighbors finally have a plan to fix their wall. Perfect. No, that's awesome. I know you were having issues early on with the flooding and everything else, and all those other things that happened. But no, the fact that you're you're on the up and up is amazing. I can't wait to have my own house. If I'm being honest, I can't wait to just be able to just. Right now, the issue is with my current living situation is I don't really feel like I can modify stuff too much. Like I probably can fix things, but like I can't like truly like anything I do is not gonna like last with me. Hopefully for a long period, for an elongated period of time. I'd love to like be in a position in a location and like be able to kind of be like, hey, yeah, we're gonna put a shed in the backyard. That'll be the new recording studio. I'm gonna have this crazy setup that I can like. This is gonna be my setup for the next decade or something, and I can just like build on it, and I can be it can be my own. Right now, it doesn't feel like my own, and that's kind of like the big issue I'm facing. I'd love to get to the point where everything I do is like, yes, this is gonna last. This is gonna be there. But yeah, enough about me. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna complain. I'm fortunate to have what I have, and I'm very thankful for it. Songer says, dude, after this is done, the first thing I'm building is a perch for our cat. We have this 3/4 wall in our kitchen that sits right under the skylight. I know she'll have a spot to lay up there. That sounds really nice. We got a nice setup, to be honest. It looks nice. It looks nice, but really it's a facade. A facade. Okay, to be quite frank, I think this was a genius concept. Like using industrial shelving to kind of create a cubicle. This was the smartest idea I've had. Honestly, I wish I did better with it. I think doing better with it though would require a lot of carpentry. Honestly, I had some plans. I wanted to like put in like some fabric as like an additional wall so I could like move the camera and add more camera angles. Like it'd be kind of cool to have a camera angle down here going. But right now, the issue is outside of this cubicle area, and even within the cubicle area, it's kind of a mess. Like everything you don't see is a mess. Behind a cubicle is a mess. On the left side of a cubicle, a mess to our left, a mess to our right, a mess on the desk you guys can't see, a mess in like the little different areas. Like there's a lot of trash and stuff. No, industrial shelving, I'm like, there's only one thing that makes me be like, man, this is one thing I wish I could do with it, but I can't. The only issue I have right now with my industrial shelving setup, because otherwise I love it, is Ken has a standing desk, and I kind of wish I had that. Like, you know, I kind of wish I could just like stand up for like you know, because like don't get me wrong, I'm lazy. I like sitting down for long periods of time. It's like I'm a naturally like, I feel like I could sit down for like 20 hours straight and, you know, be happy, but I don't think that's healthy for me, my spine, my posture. I'd love to have like some kind of system where I can like, I don't even know, maybe I don't even need a standing desk. Maybe I just gotta have like a thing right here that like I can stand up and like, you know, like switching cameras, bam, and then like you stand up and like I can stream standing up. I kind of wish like, you know, like a secondary monitor. It'll be complicated, but I guess I could make it work with the industrial shelving. But yeah, no, I feel like having like a standing desk, and, you know, Ken also has a treadmill that she can put underneath her desk. Yeah, another wall to the cubicle. Yeah. I add another set of industrial shelving, just industrial shelving on industrial shelving. That'd be actually really, really funny. But yeah, I wish I had like the button, you go like, and the stand desk goes, and the desk goes up and everything like that. That's so sick. And on top of that, there is a desk that I've wanted for the past like 5 or 6 years. There's been a desk that I've been like, that thing is incredible. Let me show you this desk. Those are crazy cool. Wish they were cheaper. Honestly, the one we got one on like on Amazon or something, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't like an IKEA desk cheap. Like it wasn't like $50. It was like, I think like 100 something, 180. But like for a motorized standing desk, 180. I mean, you use it. I think for me, if you use something, it's worth paying for. It's worth paying for something that's nice. But let me show you the desk that I'd want to have down the line. Like if I had, oh, yeah, that's the new models. If I had like a ridiculous amount of if I had all the money in the world and I had like a true setup, honestly, I feel like realistically, I'd love to have like almost like a warehouse setup. Like have like multiple rows of industrial shelving, everything I could possibly want, and like this big open space and like a couch, a little podcast. I love to have like this crazy setup. That's like that would be the dream that I'm going to put a pin in until I have money. But the desk that if I had something like that would be this one right here. This desk is kind of like the dream machine. It's like this it's a desk that you can put your PC inside of. And like you can put two separate PCs. So I can have the streaming PC or the secondary PC, and I can have a main PC. Because the thing is, honestly, I want to get to that point where I have like a cheaper, less powerful machine to run the stream itself. Like, you know, if something happens, there's a crash, there's a bug and everything else, that would be like really, really nice. And also I want to have like a beefy PC that handles my main workflow, gaming, etc. Also, I'd like to have like everything that's like business oriented. I want it to be off of like the gaming PC. I want that to be like, if it gets hacked, if it burns, if something goes wrong, if something happens to my gaming PC, I don't want like my business stuff to be affected by that. If that makes any sense. But yeah, dual PC setup. I would love that. It's like dual PC inside there. It's a clear surface. All sorts of fun stuff. You can control the fans, the RGB, the lighting. Has like, it's a standing desk, so you can change the height of it as well. Has like, you know, the ports on the front, so you don't need to do this crazy wire management. You can just have the ports in the front. You can just like immediately plug it in. And just like look at this thing. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Imagine like a liquid cooling setup inside of a desk PC. I'm sure there's other desk ones. I'm sure I haven't looked in. When I first saw this, when I was working at Micro Center many years ago, and we actually I think we sold some of these. I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It's been so many years. I forget if we either I saw it somewhere via Micro Center, or we sold it through Micro Center, and I was like, I want that thing. It could have just been like we sold Lian Li and I saw it perchance. Additionally, I just saw this because I haven't had the luxury of looking at these for a very long period of time. But apparently they have a wood version now, one with wood trim. Just look at this thing. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. That's a really cool. Has like a little like wireless charging thing, and like a little bench for the hands. Well, I want to see if Ken. I want to get Ken's thoughts on these. Hopefully she is. Also, it's a dual PC one as well, so that's nice. Yeah, no, it looks really good. Looks like it's for like tiny PCs. I don't think this is for full size. I don't think we could like truly fit like hefty the graphics cards nowadays. There's the sizes of the new graphics cards. Crazy. It's like I've seen some of them, and it's like they're as big as like micro PCs nowadays, and it's like how, why? Okay, I know how and why. It's more so that I was kind of expecting the form factor to stay the same. You know, it's like, you know, I was kind of expecting like it always be like this size. Like, you know, like no bigger than like 2 hamburgers. I think 2 hamburgers is like the perfect size for like a graphics card. I think once we get to the point where it's like forearm size, it's like, okay, this is getting kind of ridiculous. Obviously not forearm in like width. My forearm is like a pencil. We're talking about like forearm in terms of length. But yeah, no, those are my thoughts on that. This is really cool, actually. The more I'm looking at it. Not sure how I feel about that. Well, I guess that's for like multiple wires. Some light wire management. Cable shield. I want something fancy. I want something fancy like this, but someday I will have it. I will have it all. Just you guys wait. Just like, you know, falls into debt, stuff happens, you know, lives in ditch. I probably shouldn't speak that. Knock on wood. Anyway, so what we were talking about, what we were discussing in detail was what I was planning on discussing in detail before I started talking about desks and setups and everything else. This new game jam, I think it ends. So it ends on August 17th, and I think that is right before, like half a week before the Brackies game jam. There's also the Do You Wanna jam. This one is for a Craft Picks membership. Is the Craft Picks... I guess some cool things in here. I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't know. It might be the purist in me. It might just be like the side of me that I shouldn't be listening to. I've learned, I think every single year that I've been doing game development, software development, being a creative in general, every single year I've like gone further and further away from like the purist like mindset. Because I remember, like, if you even went back like 4 years on my experience, back then I was against so much. Not even like, it was kind of a meme. I mean, I still saw the use. I wasn't like shaming people. I wasn't like, don't do this. But I was still like, I'd rather make games from the ground up in HTML and using like, you know, the bare bones and not using engines and doing stuff that's only browser compatible and, you know, building stuff using zero dependencies, no 3.js, zero dependency, pure JS, no external code from scratch, notepad. Like, I was like such a purist. I was like as pure-minded code dev as I think you can theoretically get without going in like literally insane. I feel like the only way you can go even pure is like buildings from scratch and like well, I guess you know, it's the meme, right? It's like the meme where like, oh yeah, I make an assembly or you know, I modify the electrical signals directly on the memory card, or you know, I specifically maneuver the electrons around to make it work. You know, like all the meme discussion, but it's kind of like that. But I feel like that's as low as you can go. Other than like, I think assembly is also, you can still do assembly. It's just much slower. But as low as you can go with, while still being like, I feel like semi-reasonable with like a deadline, with a jam deadline. But now I'm like, oh yeah, let's take some acid packs, or let's use an engine and do all these things and use these dependencies and use these more, you know, use more tooling. And it's kind of like, I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, literally being in control of every single minor detail of it is slowing me down too much. If I got to the point where it's like, I could spend a year making a very shoddy game from the ground up, which I'll be very proud of for sure, but I'd rather be able to like make it in like a couple of weeks instead, using an engine, for instance, or using acid packs, and create like 52 of them in a year, because I'm only gonna live so many more years, you know? I mean, I know, like, I'm so young. I'm like young and I'm talking like I'm 80, you know? I only got so many years left, you know? I only got 20 years left and I need to get all these projects done. But I mean, even with like, you know, assuming I live past 100, even with like 74 years left in my life, it still feels like it's not that long, you know what I mean? Like the months pass by so fast. Like I feel like it feels like yesterday that I started. I also, that's not true. I'm gonna put a pin in my thoughts on that, but it feels like yesterday since it's been 2026, like the beginning, like the new year, and like it feels like I made like 5 games. Or 6 games now, which I'm really proud of. But also, it's kind of like I feel like I've done nothing really. Like, you know, like my growth has been very, very minimal. Which again, all that I will say, putting a note on that. I don't think that's completely true because we got like 100. We got at least like 300,000 more views across all my channels. Like we've had like a 2x multiplier on all of our channels on practically all fronts, and I've made all these games and we've got all these players, and I've met so many more new people and made those connections, and I got this job and everything else. So clearly it's not, you know, stagnant. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic right now, but also I want to get to the point where I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm not at the point where I'm happy, and maybe I'll never be. But I don't know. This is like a huge venting rant about like the life of a creative. I don't even know anymore. But okay, but regardless, so there's also this "Do You Want to Jam?" It's happening at the same time as what's its face. Well, I guess it's starting the day before Bracky, or sorry, it ends the day before Bracky's. And it is like a nicer, longer jam. And I guess this jam I guess we could theoretically do it. We could do this jam, this jam, this jam, and this jam. We could do 4 more jams in like the span of a month and a half. I'm going to be so burnt out, but I feel like it's not unreasonable. It's not the worst idea in the world. I'm kind of also like, what do I want to do with these jams? Like, do I want to challenge myself with another HTML only jam? Like, do one of my notepad challenges for the fun of it? I don't know. Interesting. I'm kind of curious. I haven't looked at the Bracky's page yet. Theme voting, open. What are the possible themes? A word, a color, a number. Monster Friends. I don't think Monster Friends is going to win. I'm going to just put it out right now. I don't see this winning. Twist. I could see Twist winning, but also I think that's going to be divisive. I think if it wins, it's going to be like a close win. Trust No One. This one's interesting. So far, I feel like a word, a color, a number, and Trust No One are like my top picks for what is possibly going to win. Monster Friends, I think, is not going to be picked. Twist is a potential. Home Sweet Home. I think Home Sweet Home could work. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of on the lower side. I feel like if I had to rank these on what I think people would pick, I think Home Sweet Home would be on the lower side. Almost purely because it doesn't really feel... It feels less like a theme and more like a note. I don't know. It's weird. Alternative uses. This one's a good one. This one's really good. It is, though. It's complicated because some of these are like a word, a color, a number, etc. I'll be doing Brackies for sure. That I think if you're like over 1,000 people competing, I'm like, there's like a very, very high chance I'll join your jam. I need it to be like over 1,000 though to like make it like the competitive nature of me compels me to join a jam of that size. I gotta get good though. I gotta get good at doing this stuff because I feel like I've been slacking. My quality can. Oh, I don't think I've ever like. Well, my quality's been okay. I definitely peaked with Quick Time Attack though. I wish I could have claimed it. We got first place. I want a first place. I want a first place in a substantial jam. That would be such an ego trip. I'm I want it. I want that ego. I want that ego to like be flying. Historical Empire. I don't see this one winning. I don't see Monster Friend or Historical Empire winning unless we got a lot of like history buffs or like I don't know. Monster Friends. I think it's just. I think if this one wins, I think it's purely because no one expects it to win. It's like the counter pick. This feels like a counter pick if it is in the end like this one feels like the weakest, so if it wins, I think it's gonna be a counter pick win. It begins with a question. Oh, this one's narrative centered in a way. I don't know if that would win. I don't think it's as bad as Monster Friends. I kind of like it, in fact, but I don't see it. Okay, I think Monster Friends, it begins with a question. The Monster Friends Historical Empire begins with a question. I think these are like the last three. Home Sweet Home, I think, is in the middle. And I think alternative uses Trust No One, Twist, a word, a color, a number are my predictions for winning. I think if I had to pick one for winning, I think Twist or alternative uses are like my top predictions. And I think if I had to like really like narrow it down, I'd probably say that my prediction would be alternative uses. Word, color, number, and that personal pick. I like that one too. Honestly, I think that's such a good theme. I just don't think it's gonna be popular. I think how good the theme is not gonna correlate with how its success. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna win. I think assuming that this is primarily game developers playing it, I think if there's also people who are not game developers, people who are like game reviewers or people like playing games, the computation will be different. But if it's game developers primarily voting, I think it's going to be mostly it's going to be what do people want to develop for. I don't think they're going to want to do Monster Friends. I don't think they're going to want to do Begins with the Question because it's more narrative focused. I don't think they're going to want to do Historical Empire because that's more like history buff territory. There is overlap, but it's limited. I don't see Home Sweet Home winning. I can see Home Sweet Home kind of winning, but that would be like a long shot in my head. I could see a word, a color, a number winning, but I don't think it's likely. I think it's almost too restrictive. I think a lot of developers are gonna look at that and be like, I don't like how restrictive it is. I think Twist, Trust No One, and alternative uses are like going to be the ones people are going to like be like thinking about. I think those are going to be like the main ones people are going to like consider. Twist, I think is going to be too general. I think they're going to look at that, and I think some people are going to be like, "That's awesome. I like generalized ones." I think I think from what I've seen, I think the vast majority of developers don't like overly general restrictions. But I think people who like freedom will pick Twist. I think Trust No One. That is kind of trendy right now. Trust No One, especially with like the concept of like multiplayer games, interactive games. It's starting to fall off a little bit, but like obviously like games in the same vein as Werewolf and Among Us and like all these games where you have like a heavy interactive element or between players and like kind of like a FU kind of energy. That's kind of trendy right now still, even though again it is kind of on. I think it peaked with Among Us, and it's definitely like there have been a lot of games by the like people who like by the specifically like I think they call it friend slot, but let's just say it's like fun primarily interactive driven content that is still kind of like it still pops off. So I think Trust No One is like potential. I think people are gonna look and be like, oh yeah. I think people who are looking for a game jam that's gonna like potentially turn into a future project are like people who are like looking for a jam to like kickstart a project might pick Trust No One. Alternative uses. I think the issue I have with alternative uses is that the wording feels bad. Like I think it's a good theme, and I think if I had to make a prediction, I think it's gonna win. if it doesn't win, it's purely because of the wording. Alternative uses is, I think it's going to be the thing that most traditional game developers are going to love, because it isn't too generic, but it also is like, it has a lot of like interesting elements to it, like alternative uses. Like I think anything that kind of requires like you to be like, what are multiple ways to do something, that is gonna like make people's brains tick. Hello Burnseye, how's it going? Welcome back to stream. But yeah, I think alternative uses has like, it has a lot of that like deep game dev energy that people are gonna like really latch onto. The issue is it doesn't flow off the tongue. It doesn't sound appealing the way they phrased it. Like, I feel like the themes that I love are like super like generic. Like like for instance, like even though a word, a color, a number is long, the individual words and individual concepts are like super succinct, you know? Like the word, like I hate to say it, but they're like $5 words versus $10 words. Twist, succinct. Trust no one, succinct. Alternative, the word is just too long. And I from a marketing perspective, and also like alternative, the word alternative is used in pop culture a lot. Like, you know, we talk about like alt music and everything else, but it isn't like, it's not like every day I say like, oh yeah, what is the alternative? If I said that, that's kind of like, that gives off nerd in a way, you know? I feel like people are not going to like that word. I feel like it's going to be like, if I had to reword that in a way that would be more marketable, I would say something like multi-use, or multi-use I think is good, or multifunctional. I think multifunctional would have been good. Even though it's a longer word, it sounds better to me. Maybe that's just like me being very picky, but like multifunctional sounds so much better than alternative uses. It doesn't feel right. It feels like a very like, it almost feels old English, and I hate to say it, but it almost sounds old English. Again, I think this one should win. I think there's a chance it won't. Honestly, again, Twist, Trust No One, alternative uses. I think Twist is like unlikely purely because of how generic it is. I think the current audience doesn't like generic. Trust No One, it is trendy. I think it's going to end up being between Trust No One and alternative uses. I think Twist and Trust No One might steal from each other a little bit, though, depending on what side of the fence you're on. So alternative uses, I think it's going to be separate, and it's going to be purely how, if the marketability of the term cuts it down. If it does, I think Trust No One's going to win. I think it's going to be between these two. Flashbacks from February. Yeah. It could also, I will say this also might just be because of like, I was like knee deep into like a bunch of different communities recently, and like looking at like all the stuff going on with the gmtk, GDKO. There was like a couple other, I think I did two other jams. It's so funny. I think that the jams have like a 4-letter acronym. I remember the best because like 4 letters, I can do that. Anything longer than that, I'm like, maybe. But yeah. I was like knee deep in these communities, so I feel like I've gained, after listening to a lot of discussion, bickering, compliments, etc. A lot of people like arguing themes. I think some people didn't like some themes for some jams. I think everyone, there was a huge backlash to the last Godot theme. People were angry. People were so upset. Yeah, 4 letters I think just naturally sounds really good. Also, by the way, I did not show you guys this because I distracted myself way too heavily. But I did show you guys. Actually, this no one was here when I was talking about it. I'll just I'll reiterate because I'm proud. I'm a proud plant dad. But Ken has given me some gifts. She has given me some plants, and one rescue plant that we're trying to recover. It was on the clearance rack, and one relatively easy to maintain plant, given my proclivity for killing these things. The theme for Godot, what was the? Actually, I'm gonna bring it up again. The Godot Wild Jam. The last theme was no, that wasn't it. Wait, that's old ones. Retro. People hated retro. People hated retro so bad. There was like, honestly, I didn't even care too much for it. Like, I was fine with it in a way. But people were like angry. It was crazy. Honestly, I was kind of like, I was shocked at how like upset the community was on it. I mean, I kind of get it. Don't get me wrong. I kind of get it, but it was kind of wild. Oh, anyways, about the plants. So this is I got this bamboo plant that's in this lit. It's like a lamp. It has a little like LED thing at the bottom, so like it lights it up, and it's like a really nice tall bamboo plant. Here, I was charging it for now, but I'll just put it back here now. How much? It's supposed to have good battery life. Why is it refusing? There it goes. And also, we have this plant. I don't remember what the name of the plant is, if I'm being honest, but yeah, it's a put in a glass coffee mug, put some clay beans so it looks like coffee. We have this plant. Burns, I did the retro jam, and he made a normal game with a PS1 shader on top of it, but wasn't to the jam. Yeah, I've heard that's what a lot of people did. I think that's probably the issue, is that you can kind of achieve retro with just a shader on top of anything. So it was kind of like you could do anything with it. So it was in a way too unrestricted. Honestly, the thing is, I feel like personally, I think you could have had more fun with it. My perspective on it, my 2 cents for everyone who was raising their pitchforks was that the retro theme, you could engage deeper with the theme and make it into more of a restriction. It is on you to do it, but there is more of a deeper aspect you can approach it with. Because there's a lot of stuff like retro-wise in terms of theming, in terms of like pulling from retro culture, pulling from all of the like... There's so many things back then that you could have pulled inspiration from. You could pull from stuff that was happening during the retro. Retro, I think it's like... Okay, so retro itself, the retro time period, I feel like it's more like hippie time, like 1970s, 1980s. Retro. That's when I'm kind of like, I feel like it is. Yeah, so roughly 20 years. Okay, I guess retro now is... No, I disagree with that. I don't consider 2006 retro. I think you could, but I don't personally. I think that's a stretch to my... Yeah, 1980s, 1990s. That's like the time period we're talking about. I think you could pull from 1980s, 1990s culture, fashion, events, hippie culture. You could pull from like the wars and stuff that were going on at the time period. I feel like you can pull it from like the arcade machines. I think PS3 can work as retro. I wouldn't personally consider retro. I don't know. Maybe the definition of retro is like turning into like more like old retro is new vintage. Yeah, no, I think every industry has some kind of discussion as to what actually is old, what is old school. But yeah, yeah, no, I feel like, 2000, I don't know, 2001 cars. No, that's not vintage. That's not vintage. Like retro games a card game too. Yeah, I think also like pulling from the concept of retro in different industries could be a good way to engage with the jam concept. Also, another thing I would say that's interesting is the definition of retro, like doing stuff retroactively, or like doing stuff like in a way that's like retrograde. Like there's a lot of ways you can pull retro and use it in a functional way in a jam that isn't just about like a filter on top of it. I think there is a way you can engage with it. Maybe there been a better way to phrase it, or maybe like they just needed like not the word retro, but something that's like more specific. But personally, I don't know, the good old Wild Jam. I kind of soured on it. I feel like it just isn't. The good old Wild Jam isn't like a really weird spot. I'm gonna take a look at the game you have put in chat. Oh, download only. Okay, never mind. Take that back. But okay, but what I was gonna say was the Godot Wild Jam is like it's in a weird carved out spot for me. It's like Godot Wild Jam is small enough to where I'm like, I'm not compelled to do it. You got first place. Nice. That's awesome. That's perfect. That's really fun. Let me take a look. I'm gonna like take a look at the rating. What are we talking? You've been, yeah, you did more than just put a retro filter on it. The old Microsoft Windows logo. It's so complicated. Personally, I don't consider this retro. This feels more like new gen. New gen, old, millennial. I don't know. Personally, I think this is like anything that's my childhood, I don't consider retro. Anything my childhood or slightly before is not retro. Yeah, we need. Yeah, Godot is like the issue. I don't know. There's a lot of issues with Godot right now. I don't think it was open source is great, and it has very good functionality. Got first place. Woo! There was a prize pool as well for this. You got 300 bucks. Nice. Nice. Awesome. That's fun. I think wrong jam though. This a completely separate jam did that. That's not the Godot one, is it? Did you also submit the Godot? You didn't submit also the Godot. This is just the Conduit Retro Jam. Yeah, no, Godot did retro. Godot did the last Godot jam was recent. Must have been looking for it. Let me just filter a little bit. I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong. I know why. I know why it didn't do well. I am like, okay. Even though they set themselves up for failure, I'm surprised that the Pirate Software Game Jam is as weak as it is. Although I feel like that could be solved in such a simple way that I feel like would not even be that like costly. They could make it a much bigger thing than it is, but they're like, I don't think they care. I have thoughts on that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. But anyways, where's the I gotta make my own jam. I have an idea for a jam. I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking. I have an idea. I just don't have the audience. I'm gonna get 0 people. Like low-key 0. I'm not even gonna get a single person in my jam. For sure. He is a bit of a meme. There's so much else. Like I tried competing in his jam once. It just is not. It's such a weird vibe in his community. I don't like it. It feels very young. I feel like the best community I've been in so far, for sure, is the GDKO one. GDKO has been like, to me, the shining star of what a game jam community can be. gmtk was okay. There were some like weird vibes too there. Like, I don't know. You had to be there to understand. I don't know. I don't know. I don't mean to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna start fights with everybody right now. You know, I'm angry with everybody. No, I mean, doing a game jam in general is a difficult thing, and having a huge amount of people competing in a competition and keeping it fair and simple and good and everything, it's complex. And I'm not gonna like say that. I don't think there's necessarily a wrong way to do it, but I still feel like I can have an opinion, and my opinion is that GDKO one has been miles. I think it's just purely also people that attracted. I think it attracted more serious game developers and not just people who are like new or no, okay, I think there's a lot that's happening in all these communities. I think in general, with the creative community in general, there's a lot of I don't know. I feel like I could be really ruthless right now, but I don't feel like that'd be fair. I have a lot of thoughts. I think one of my biggest issues right now is that people who don't know what they're talking about and are very new to being creative and doing stuff in general, or like in these communities, and really like clearly talking in a way that makes it clear that they don't really have understanding of how to be, a game developer, talking or acting like experts in the field. No, I feel like I saw a lot of people. When you see people typing and it's like clear that they feel like they're, immature. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like I also can give off that energy sometimes, but like, like it's clear they're very young and very new to this and they don't really understand much, but they like to pick fights. I like, and the thing is, they use these big words and really take these really strong moral positions on a lot of different topics. Like, there was an entire, like, the thing is, in GDKO, we also had like a bit of a philosophical discussion, right? I feel like that goes hand in hand with game development. But like the people who were that happened in GMTK too, and the people who were discussing it, it was like such a weird vibe. I'm trying to tell if they're young or really old, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, they were like, these people taking these extremely hardline philosophical positions, and it was so clear they had so little knowledge on philosophy in general. Like, the thing is, I'm not saying I'm a genius, right? I'm not like I'm a philosophy major. I've written papers on this. I'm clearly well read in this. I'm never going to claim to be, because I don't think I'm ever going to go that deep. But I've taken enough classes and I've talked to enough people who are more knowledgeable, and I've seen people who are more knowledgeable, and I've read some papers and stuff to where I can kind of get a feel for like what is a good, how someone talks and acts when they actually know what they're talking about, and how you in good faith, discuss these things. And these people were not. These people were not knowledgeable. They didn't know what they were talking about. They were like very like, it gave 16-year-old to just watch one philosophy video debating and not even knowing how to debate. And that extended to everything. Every single discussion, every single concept. The only thing AI summaries make things worse too, yeah. No, I think, yeah, the biggest issue right now with the AI thing is that if you use it, you have to think. You can't let it think for you. It has to be assistive, it can't just like take over your brain. And some people are letting it like unironically do the thinking for them. Like I don't know. I think it's also just purely from like a perspective of like, you have to, if you want to take a hardline path, you have to understand the other path. You have to like for instance, some of the takes that I've had, like, because, back when I was like 21, I honestly don't think your brain is mature. I don't consider someone mature if they're like, even like 20s, like early 20s, I don't think you're necessarily mature. I don't think you really like have the experience or the mindset or like even the brain capacity to understand. There's so many things that like when I was like 19, 20, 21, when I was technically an adult and everyone was like, I was learning these things and I was doing these things. I was like doing deep mathematical stuff or like contests and math contests and like learning these things in college and everything. And I was like, man, I'm so smart. And these concepts are so high-minded. I'm looking or like, philosophical stuff or, just general stances I took on various topics. And I look back and I'm like, man, I was an idiot. I'm like 26. I feel like I'm still dumb. I think the correct mindset is you never fully mature. You should always let yourself grow a little bit more. There's always more to learn from and more experiences and like mindsets like take thoughts from. But I definitely feel like I've grown from 2020 like 2 or 21. Like I'm like, is my frontal lobe fully developed? I'm 26. I don't know. When does male frontal lobe fully develop? Early 30s. So I got like a half more decade. And there's apparently a kangaroo in front of Burnside's window. But yeah, no, I'm like, to me, it's like simply that I think a vast majority of the loudest people in some of these communities don't know what they're talking. And okay, I will say there were some moments in GDKO that I think were mishandled. And I'm not saying it was perfect. The entire thing with like downloadable games, that didn't happen in GMTK. There was still a lot of drama with people being like, I didn't get all the ratings I wanted, yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, you did not put in the effort. To like market their game properly. Under 25 is a joke. No, in all seriousness, what's the funniest thing? Okay, I feel like now maybe I'm speaking from a privileged position of being over 25. Just post it anywhere, Burnside. It's fine. There's my Discord is so disorganized. One day I'm gonna properly take care of it. Right now, you can put it in general if it's allowed, or you can put in art if you'd like. Wherever makes most sense to you. I'm not gonna police it that heavily. Homebase might accept. I feel like Homebase does, but I could be wrong about that. I might have limited it because to prevent memeing too much in it, but But yeah, me and Ken were discussing at some point bringing more moderators. But in art, okay, I'll take a look. Me and Ken discussed bringing more moderators on board, and we were like seriously discussing like, do we like limit it to 25 up? Because before we had like 18 plus, but now I'm kind of like, you know what? I need like real maturity. Maybe like I want people who are like a little bit on the older side. Oh, look at that little guy. Oh, it's so cute. Just a little kangaroo guy. Honestly, I don't find that terrifying. He looks, unless look, he's like 3 leaves tall. That's not scary. There's a baby in its pouch. Is this scale just weird? Like, are the leaves closer than I think they are? I can't see the baby in the pouch. You don't see art. It's under the development. It's below urban. So if you look at, it's below official, below under cave divers, underwater cave divers. It's below general. It's below urban world, and it's in development section, and it's the second channel down. I think kangaroos always have at least one baby in their pouch at this point too. The babies are really tiny though. Like I think it does work out that way. There was a gym I was looking at a minute ago. What is the B1T jam? Ken's here. Hello, hello, hello. This was a cute jam. A good amount of people have. 10 out of 10 entry. McCrow's jam? Yeah, McCrow. Whoa. Oh, that's so cool. Ah, it's so creative. That's sick. That's so cool. Holy. Oh man, that's so cool. Are these all his game submissions? He's crazy. Is he on social media? Whoa! Look at his website. That's kind of sick. That's kind of cool. This gives early internet. Does he have? Does he? No, he has a single video on YouTube. That's cool. I don't know. I'm kind of vibing with this. Maybe we do the McCrow jam, the bit jam. Is there? guess we still have time for that one. I think that's definitely an option for a prior to Brackeys and everything else jam. There's also the post jam that's happening right now for after GMTK. Not really feeling that one too much. My game's kind of complete. I mean, it's not great, but it's like it's in a finished state. I can't really see myself adding more to it. Oh, the theme is sleep. He's legit. I put a lot of effort into his jams too. I'll put a bunch of statistics after jam, much like checking out. Okay. Interesting. There's back in the. Oh no, this was what I was looking at earlier. And everything else is not a whole. I think these are the two options. Okay, I'll let you guys tell me which one you guys think I should do. So the benefit of this one is honestly, guys, I could. This is like awful, and this is like I'm saying this right now, knowing very well that I'm gonna be shooting myself in the foot so hard if I do this, but it'll be the funniest thing in the world. I could totally do like go back to my roots and make like a Notepad HTML game again. That would be like so funny. Ken doesn't program. She's learning. She's learning how to code. She's going to be learning Python soon. So if she would like, she could do Godot development very shortly, and she has done some coding exercises in the past. We crave the insanely long notepad lines. Yeah. But Ken is primarily an artist. She likes making art. And she's currently in college, learning a lot. She likes animals and taking care of plants. She is in charge of keeping all of our local plant life in this house alive. Making a coding notepad and you have to try not to fall asleep. I wouldn't do that. I feel like that's not going to win. I think that's going to be too. I don't think that's going to like. Well, maybe. Okay. There is. Okay. I like the concept. Here is how I would handle it. If I had to do a coding game where you have to code in a language and try not to fall asleep, you know how I would handle that? What I would do. Well, okay, maybe typing sim, but I was thinking more. So you guys know when you're like coding, especially like when you're coding like in an editor with like no typesetting. Like, okay, this is a very unique experience. But if you code in Notepad, like truly code in Notepad, and there's like no way to check errors before you run it, whenever you run the code, you get these like massive ego trips and ego dives. It's like whenever you have a successful run, even if it's like still buggy, but a successful run or like something works as you intended it to, your ego goes through the roof. And then whenever something goes awfully wrong and everything falls apart, which always happens, your ego goes into like a swan dive. What I'm thinking is, what if like whenever you successfully run the code, you have an ego trip that keeps you awake, and whenever you have your code fails or you don't get the output you want, your ego dives and you fall and you get more tired. You're learning Google Docs is brutal. Yeah, Google Docs I think that's a whole nother. Oh, actually, is that better? No, actually, I would almost say that's worse because it's gonna fight you. Google Docs, if you're doing coding in Google Docs, it's gonna constantly spell correct you, and that's gonna hurt. Yeah, I feel like I'd have to turn off any of like the automatic stuff because that would be too annoying to work with. Every time they put like a punctuation mark, it'll like auto cap and everything. A where's Walden where we look for the bug with no linter. That would be so funny. I actually, unironically, I might just, even without a jam, I might just make that as a meme. Ken's gonna make a channel for pets and plants. Yeah, we'll have like a local wildlife channel in the Discord. I've seen a VS Code go to add-on called Ridiculous Coding. Every key makes VFX close and all kind of videos. I've seen that. I've seen some like streamers use it. I kind of want to. I don't like. Maybe I should. Maybe I should go back to coding on stream because that is kind of a forte of mine. But I don't know. I feel like I'm boring. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is an audience. I just haven't been able to tap that audience. I feel like I kind of just like I need to grow my core audience so that I need to harden the audience against like me being boring, or just like learn to not be boring. I gotta learn to like be able to work on stuff and like talk and debate and discuss and cogitate on interesting topics while doing stuff that would be traditionally boring. It is a skill I must develop. It's amazing for productivity. You're one of them. Okay, maybe I'll bring it. Maybe I'll get it. I think it's just a free add-on, right? I might just throw it on top and just have fun with that. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But yeah. I wonder if I can like somehow make it work on Notepad. I mean, kind of the funniest juxtaposition ever in a way. It's open source. I find a way to like link it to the Notepad. Like I mod my Notepad to like have action stuff. Boom, 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 boom. I think I'm okay at talking about my thoughts. I think the issue is like I'm good at talking about my thoughts when I'm not doing anything. Like when my brain is vacant and there's nothing going on, I can talk ad infinitum about the things I'm thinking about. But if I'm like actively like coding or doing stuff, I tend to like zone in and like tunnel vision, and like my brain is just focused. Like I just like I can't branch my brain. I can't multitask. That's the issue. I need to get better at multitasking and like being able to talk without thinking. Either talking without thinking or dedicating brain power to stuff while working. Those are the two options in reality. And so far, I've been unable to decide on which one is more plausible. Gotta grow that frontal lobe a little bit more. Like literally, like I figure it out. I learn all this stuff, and all of a sudden, like my brain just like instead of like being like backwards, like it kind of like you know that like that one whale with like the big bump on its head. Wait, what's the? Is it dolphin with weird bump on head? No, that's not it. Whale with weird bump on head. No. What is it? Is it beluga? Beluga whale. More or less, close enough. Dally me a little bit. The beluga whale, yeah. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be like part beluga whale with my brain just like sticking out like that. But anyways, you know what? Hold up. He's thinking of a narwhal. The weird bump is just literally a horn. I become like a unicorn human, unicorn dolphin. Yeah. You know, it'd be really funny. What if okay, three options, everybody. I will for the next game jam push. The three options are we do the B1T jam. It is going to be I'll put it for vote in a second. So we're gonna We're going to do the democratic way. But the options are B1T Jam, where we have to do monochromatic. Where the theme is sleep. You know what? Today's gonna be a brainstorming day. That sounds excellent. That sounds fun. But we can do the B1T Jam, where the theme is sleep, and it has to be monochromatic, and that's it. Yeah. So B1T monochromatic. That's it. There is the back in the game jam where the theme is, now that's what I call a theme. And the additional grading criteria is the perfect loop. So now that's what I call a theme and the perfect loop are going to be the two aspects. This one is prized, so this one has money involved. And the grading criteria on this one is gameplay, how well the gameplay loops and loops are, polish, yada, 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 theme, how well I incorporate, and that's what I call a theme in the perfect loop. And the restrictions are no acid flips, yada, 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 no, yada, yeah, whatever. Just that. And so I have 12 days for the back in the game jam. I have 6 days for the B1T jam. No, you can still enter in multiple. I think what it means is that you can't have a predefined work, like a game that you've developed prior to the jam that you're resubmitting in a way for the jam. So you can technically, I think it's usually frowned upon if you do a bad job at it, but I think you're technically allowed to submit to multiple jams. But the last option, as I was about to mention, or per this discussion, is we do both. And so we're going to be restricted by the B1T jam in terms of time and in terms of the visual aspect. But we incorporate the loop, which I think works well with the sleep aspect, but we just have that's what I call a theme as a thing. So those are the three options. One, B1T, back in the game, or both. Waka waka waka. Macrow gets like 2 or 3 extra days at the end for late people, by the way. So, any other questions before we put this for a vote? So, just to kind of be extra clear on my thoughts on this. Back in the game jam is going to be longer. We're going to have more time to do it. If we do it alone, we'll have more time to like really get it. The chat's being fun right now. The waka 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 chat. But I looked at the other jams, nothing else stood out. Nothing else had a good player count or a participant count. Nothing else has a great nothing else really stood out to me, honestly. Other options, host your own gym. I think we might do that at some point. That will be really fun. I will watch you guys create games while I lean back for once and I'll be just act as a reviewer. Man, lots of those guys. Look at him go. Look at him go. Waka 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 waka. Mushroom. Waka 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 waka. Ken has started a cult of the Waka Waka. Infinite Waka Wakas. Infinite power. Maybe I should wait, can I make that thing? Wait, hold up. I'll give you guys more power. One second. I'm gonna give you guys, where is it? Here, I'm gonna do something for you guys. Emote wall, add source. Okay, let me check this. Here you go. Now all of your emotes will be floating around. Waka 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 waka. And the little characters running around. Now whenever you put emojis, they're gonna bounce around and they're gonna be crazy. Hit the corners. There you go. Look at everything flying. Beautiful. Fill the screen with the Waka Wakas. Start the cult of the Waka Waka. But anyways, while you guys are floating around and causing havoc, I'm going to let you guys vote on this. Where is voting? Oh, here it is. No, it's all these. Predictions. We need a vote. Look at you guys go! Lots of emojis flying around. I was watching them like swarm in. You know, it'd be hilarious. What if I created a thing where you guys can like have your emojis go to war? There's a 500 character limit on Twitch. That's interesting. Not surprising, but very interesting. I should make like a mini game where you guys can like put emojis in and like the emojis like fight each other in little like micro battles. That'd be so much fun. We need more emotes? Yeah, well, I'll make you guys more emotes. How do I make... You know what? We're not going to vote the traditional way. Just let me... Okay, what are you guys' thoughts? What should I do? What intrigues you the most? What fits the bill for the stream requirements? What would you guys like to see me do the most? B1T, the macro jam, or the back in the game jam, or both? Look at all the emojis. All my emojis. I love the animated ones. I'm very proud of those. I want to improve the running one. I don't know. Kind of part of me likes how weird it looks, but part of me kind of wants to like have a more proper run cycle. Do the one with the prize money. That's a good point. That's a good point. Prize money's good. B1T is appealing, but also that might just purely be because their presentation is insane. Like, this is such a beautiful game jam in terms of how they actually showcased it. But also, it's a lot smaller. Well, okay, I think it's bigger in amount of people, but there's no prizes, and it's way more restrictive in theme. Back in the game jam is longer. The presentation is a little bit, I'd say, a little bit weaker than B1T in general. It kind of has like a stock image kind of vibe, like old 1990s vibe going. Lots of gradients. A little bit of humor. Man, look at all the emojis go. Look at them go. More emojis in the chat. I gotta give you guys more abilities. I gotta figure out a way. I gotta give you guys power. Power. I will say though, I'm kind of glad we don't have TTS right now. Imagine like what it would sound like if we had TTS running. It would be like Urban 9 running, Urban 9 running, Urban 9 running, Urban 9 running, Urban 9 running. My first idea for this one is Games How. Ken is going to be running the slots. She's going to be trying to gamble her riches for more monies. Did she win?
P4 Songer said Pop Nemo Urband 9 Hyper 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 Pop
Exactly.
Nemo Urband 9 Hyper Pop Nemo Urband 9 Hyper Pop Nemo Urband 9 Hyper Pop Nemo.
That was funny. I feel like my thoughts on back in the game jam. Is there a fart command? That's really funny. My thought is like WarioWare. I think WarioWare is going to like be something that works well with the loop aspect, which was a little toot sound. I should give you. I should make a thing where you can like have sounds you can select on stream and do little funny things like that. Give you like a like a little fart sound or like do like a little like um a scary sound or like a jump scare and stuff like that. That'd be so much fun. I should make so the jump scare also like I don't know if you ever played Smash TV, but I got those over the top game show vibes. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like the 8 ball said better not tell you now. That's pretty funny. Don't cow on it. That's good. I think a game show vibe would be really funny. Hmm. Hmm. What if it was like now that is a theme. That's part of that's getting me a little bit. That's such a difficult thing to like pin. I am unpredictable. I am chaos incarnate. I cannot be predicted. Ken is decidedly part of the charge of stream. Ken is the stream, the streamer. I am just a figurehead. Ken is actually in control. Ken controls all the streams. We're doing an art stream now. An art stream. I guess I could try doing an art stream. I got a lot set up in order to do that, but I can try to make it work. Let me bring up Krita really fast. Or try to do A Sprite. A Sprite or Krita? I feel like A Sprite might be the way to go. Hmm. A Sprite or Krita? You know what I'm stuck on? You know what I'm stuck on? You know what I'm thinking? I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Would having an arcade full of small games that would work well for now? That's what I call a theme. If each arcade is themed differently, but would that work well with being a loop? That's what I'm stuck. I mean, I was in deep thought for a second on whether or not that is valid. A spread has an update. We're gonna wait for the update to finish. Oh, never mind. It just finished. The loop is a tough criteria. Can I bring pawn back for this one? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure if pawn fits as well as I'd like him to, unless I have an idea that's really centered around him. Let's delete this and add in a window capture. I need to clean up all this at some point. Not great. Let's see if I can get my iPad running on this. Pawn to time travel. Pawn is not in the room with us. Pawn is 6 feet under. He has died. Long live pawn. Long live pawn. The pawn is dead. Do I have another whale listing running? Oh, I do. We already have Waylist running. I think I can just plug in my iPad then. Pawn is in the cage. In his cage in the eel pit. I don't like to see him.
Pawn is! Help! Help! There's eels everywhere! I can't escape! Ah!
We didn't actually finish Baldur's. We probably should get back into Baldur's Gate. I kind of got sidetracked with all the game development. We'll probably get back into the Baldur's Gate soon. Oh, my iPad's out of battery. Man, everything's going wrong. Let's plug this in really fast. Wow, there was hate. Ken doesn't like it when I use Pawn's voice just randomly. It is kind of grating. I definitely I do understand where it's coming from. Okay, my pad's turning on. Give it a second. 8-ball, you lied. Pawn is in the room. Very doubtful. Mandy, 8-ball is actually sentient now. It knows. 8-ball knows the truth. I guess pawn is not in the room because pawn is 6 feet under in the eel pit. Still alive, but still 6 feet under technically. Well, my iPad's charging. Is Pawn a good person? Better not tell you now. Is Pawn single asking for a friend? Better not tell you now. My sources say no. Is Pawn trustworthy? My sources. I like how it's just consecutively being like no. I need to change this to. I want to make this be eraser. And make this. Let's make this like just be. My intuition never lies. Why don't I try to make a I'll try to animate something really fast. I'm feeling like animation. Forget the control for animation. Show timeline. There we go. There was a trick I saw a while ago on how to make this thing work. Let me see if I can somehow manage 4. Let's add some more frames. Let's do an 8-frame animation. can we draw while it is running? How do I go through frames? Wait, there's a lot going on in chat. Wait, let me catch up. Is Ken telling the truth? Yes. 8-Ball, should I become a cult leader? Cannot predict now. 8-Ball, will Pogman back Shadowheart? It is certain. Shadowheart just like comes back into final. You were right, Pawn, all along. Are we disrupting the stream? Very doubtful. No, you are the stream. I am just here. I'm here for the ride. Okay. Let's do this. Actually, no, we're going to do it differently. Let's add in 8 frames. Actually, no, we're going to do it this way. Let's first draw the outlined frame. Should Andre draw hands? Don't count on it. No, the 8-Ball has said clearly that I will not draw hands. Let's do like this. A teardrop shape. And how do I duplicate? Alt D. What Alt D? 8. And now we're going to go through it and we're going to remove aspects as I am going up. So here we go. And we're going to start from here. Okay. Bit of a fire thing. Now let's draw a new layer. Wait, no, not like that. I'm trying to draw fire. How do I do layers? There we go. And now let's... How does fire look like? I need to remind myself. Do you know what Urban is drawing? Better not tell you now. Wait, so fire... Let me get a reference. Images. Okay, so it's red behind and orange and yellow and white at the bottom. So, okay, I'm guessing that this layer should be on the bottom then. How do I drag this down? How do I move the layer? Is pixel art or Andre's calling? You may rely on it. Interesting. Is Urban in the room with us? My sources say no. Urban is gone. Wait, here we go. Okay. So now let's behind this. So this thing is like supposed to be here. And let's take this and draw it throughout. And then let's take a pen, slightly larger, and let's go through this. And let's start carving this a little bit. And then we're gonna go here in the middle and erase, 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 erase. Okay. Not perfect, but also let's move this layer as a whole. I'm a skinwalker. Is Urban on stream a skinwalker in reality? Better not tell you now. Yes, I am indeed a skinwalker. I kind of like the placement of this. Can I move an entire layer? And I can't. I was about to say tell us that only Andre would know, but then you just admitted, so now I don't know what to say. I am a skinwalker. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, okay, okay. Maybe let's add like a smaller new layer on top, and we're gonna do like yellow in the center, kind of. And let's do in this layer, we're going to draw a little bit smaller, like here. And I'm going to copy this. And then we're going to go back through this, and we're going to do the same process. Then about halfway through, I'm going to do now running it back. It's kind of gives fire. I don't know. I think the internal, the yellow and orange on the inside look gives fire, but the outside is kind of a bit too messy. I don't like this curve right here. Let's like clean this up a little bit. Let's like delete. Oh, wrong thing. I think that's on red. So let's like delete this and maybe like carve this just a little bit. I don't like that. Let's like clean this out just a little bit. Let's close this. I think here, let's close. Does Urban realize he's a skinwalker? Yes. Yes. Dun dun dun. Okay, okay, okay. Kind of think fracturing it a bit more makes more sense. Is he in the house? No. Dun dun dun. Is Rio Ronde? May rely on it, but is he in the house? No. I'm just tied up in like a warehouse. Honestly, here I'm gonna like just do some like. Well, with my fire. We have something, I think. Can the real Urbandre please stand up? Please stand up. Songer says, don't count it. I'm tied in a warehouse specifically. Oh god, they got his legs. My effing legs! We've been watching Evantris, so that's a reference. I'm pretty happy with this. Kind of cozy fire. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this? The red in the background is a little bit distracting. It doesn't feel like it's like smooth. The fire is great. I promise I've been paying attention. Now make it blue. All your you other Urbanders are just imitating. It's so funny. We want blue fire. Okay. I wonder if it's like a select all type thing. Actually, I kind of want to draw an explosion. An explosion that is interesting. Pixel explosion. Man, these references suck. Awful explosions. Is it too late to save him? Cannot predict now. I'm going to take that as a yes. It is too late to save the original Andre. The original Andre's long gone. Should I fight the Skinwalker? Signs point to yes. You just see me like just fall down, the camera like falls over and like there's like just fighting happening in the background. I don't want to fight. Let's start from scratch. Let's do a explosion. Da 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 da. Explosion. Okay, so seems logically. Will I survive the fight? Yes. Is Ken a Skinwalker? My sources say no. Man, how does it know? How does it know? It's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so I feel like Eight Ball, should I work on the fireworks game? Concentrate and ask again. That's so funny. How could you doubt me? Just had a check. Okay, so I feel like the initial explosion is gonna be like relatively big. Hello, Narade. The initial explosion will be kind of big, right? So it's gonna be like bam, like an impact frame, right? So I like a bomb falling first. Meow. That's more frames we're doing that actually. Hi, join the chaos. We got cookies. Dum, ba, dum, ba, dum, bum, bum. Okay, let's start bomb from the top, right? Is my name Andre? Yes, my name is Andre. Go faster and faster. Okay, and then see how it feels. Ah, it's kind of juddery. I don't like it. Slow down. Oh, apparently I'm a skinwalker now, so that's actually what's oops daisy. Not doing the same one. We're name brothers? Noise! Andres unite. Okay, let's see. How does this feel? It still feels so juddery. I don't like it. Let's go back a little bit. Maybe I should make it go smoother. Like, frame by frame. And then here we like do an impact. I don't know. I'm not feeling this bomb yet. This bomb isn't. Is there a fill tool? There's gotta be a fill tool, right? There's no fill tool. Well, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Boom. Is a skinwalker named Andre? Ask again later. Maybe he really is a skinwalker. Dun 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 dun. We are skinwalkers. Dum ba dum ba dum ba dum. Okay, let's try running this. Okay, I think the flash frame is good. He walks on skin. Yes. I'm a folklore creature of what's the from what culture is it considered? Disgusting, isn't it? Do skinwalkers sell insurance? Most likely. Oh man. The We Are Farmers are actually just a front for the We Are Skinwalkers, confirmed. I don't know. This explosion does not feel good. Yes. Can I add the onioning of this or that's why they're so annoying. Look up Wendigo. Are Wendigo and Skinwalkers considered the same thing? Is there a giant Skinwalker cabal in the Farmers Insurance Company? Better not tell you now. They're watching. They're always watching. We are farmers. Dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Okay, let's see. So 2 frames blowing up, and then I guess we kind of expecting it to like Wendigo is more animal. Yeah, I thought they were kind of different. I forgot the exact. I don't know. How's this look so far? No, it's too slow. Maybe the point is I should. Maybe when you get back to it, you should see the aftermath, like clouds of smoke. Can I outline this in a way? Oh, there is a paint bucket tool. I was wrong. Yeah, the cannibal thing. I know Wendigos are created by the cannibal thing. I don't know what the. Maybe I should start with this and maybe like several different like colors, like different gray variations and different sizes. So like is it drawing? Wait, I don't see the. Oh, it's still in jumble. Whoops, daisy. And then we put some more gray like this, slightly bigger. I don't know, this doesn't look good to me. Let's see what happens when we jumble it though. Let's like copy this and paste this a couple of times. And each time we jumble a little bit more. I'm just kind of curious if this actually like has a good effect. Let's like make this massive. So like 1 tab here, 2 tabs here, 3 tabs here, and we'll like disperse it and we'll add another layer. And no, that's not good. What is Urban a cannibal? Concentrate and ask again. What's everyone's favorite folklore creature? Squonk. So actually, despite starting, I don't like cryptids. Everything I know about it is from Songer. I like scary stuff. I never really got into some like into cryptids specifically. I think those were like I like some more of the psychological and like futuristic horror and like I don't know, horror video games and stuff and the concepts and stuff are very I like them a lot generally. Ken's favorite one is Puka. Songer says Puka is pretty good. I feel like Songbird would like that. Ken actually wants to use that as. Why is it not charging? It's plugged in, right? It's plugged in. It's saying it's not. Sit down. I think Ken's planning on making that her VTuber for when she streams. My iPad's refusing to charge now for some reason. Is the charging brick at fault? It feels like I can't. Oh, now it's charging. Okay, I fixed it. I actually would. I like horses, but shapeshifters are even better. Yeah, shapeshifters are a really cool concept in folklore. Okay. They're cool little dudes. Yeah. I don't know what to draw. I feel like I'm very uncreative right now. None of my ideas are great. What should I do? Should I try to do a walk cycle? I guess that's kind of a challenge type thing. Let's do an 8-frame walk cycle. Okay, let's start at the midpoint for actually let's put the midpoint here for the leg. Let's do 3 frames on ground or yeah, 3 frames on ground. 1, 2. Wait, no, that's backwards. You know what other cryptid is fun? There's an evil man turtle that drowns people, but it has a bowl on his head with water in it. If you dump out their head water, you're all good. Is that because it kills it if you Here, I'll look it up. Evil man turtle. A kappa. Oh, I did not understand that correctly at all. Oh, that's so weird. Ugh. It's like its brain cavity is the bowl. I thought it meant like the bowl was like on top of his head, not like his head is the bowl. That's so weird. Ugh. I don't like that very much. Like the harmless chaotic ones? Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I like in a League of Legends, like Yordles. I like the Teemo vibes. What do I need to do here? Kind of, maybe I should like, wait, I have an idea. Maybe instead of trying to do something crazier, what if we like try to do something simpler? Let's what if I try to make a duck or something? There's a way to do this without. I feel like doing it manually is not the correct way of doing this. It's Daisy. He's a cool duck. It's like the squonk. He's a sad guy who's slimy. I thought he just made it up. He used to have a one, but I'm blanking. It does sound very made up. Songer has endless wells of odd knowledge. I feel like I also have a lot of odd knowledge. I feel like just mine's is in very like specific contexts. I feel like I have like very, very like niche knowledge. They're all made up. That is a good point. That is true. What if I like made it so that's like kind of creepy? How do I feel about this this design? If I give like a long legs, like a flamingo. That doesn't look right to me. I don't know what you guys think about that. What if I made like his like he had like clear wings pattern with It's bedtime for us. Thanks for the good vibes today, of course. Kind of robot looking, yeah. Kind of like an ostrich, but with like weird legs. Demonic looking. I don't know. I need to get more into pixel art. I've kind of been slacking on the art side of things. Oh, that's a squonk? That's so... Oh my goodness. Why does it look like that? Squonk. Oh man. That's sad and disturbing. It's like a hairless cat, but like a hairless cat fused with like a pig. I think I'm gonna call it two. Thanks for watching, Songer. Thanks for watching, Songbird. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's stream and all the random stuff and drawings and craziness. Hope to see you again tomorrow when we stream again. For those who are, for anyone else who's on right now, we will be streaming again tomorrow, and we're also on Discord. And consider leaving a follow if you like seeing our content. Yeah, I might be starting a new jam soon. Don't have the energy to like do that live on stream right now, but I'm going to. I might just do the longer one. I think it ends right around Brackies. I think it'll work well. We'll see. I need to give it some thought. I'm gonna sleep on it and get some get my eggs in a row before I make any true commitments and burn myself out to a crisp. But again, have a good night, everybody. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.